Hey guys! Today we're going to be ranking some iconic 2010 songs because I guess a lot of people have been listening to throwback songs lately, so I thought why not rank some of the most iconic throwback songs of the 2010s. So first of all, let's just go over the tiers. So we have up at the top a mystery tier. So this is for only the most iconic, and I'll go over more about this towards the end, so stick around for that. And then we have decade anthems, which are basically songs that are just so iconic that you can't think of 2010s pop music without thinking of these songs. They are 2010s pop culture. And then we have bops, which are not quite anthem level, but they're still really, really good. And then next up we have suburban mom music. This is the kind of song you would hear in CVS, or, you know, when a soccer mom drives her kids home from soccer practice, this is what she would be playing in the car. And then we have meh. I mean, I feel like this one's pretty self-explanatory. Like, it's just meh. Like, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. It's just alright. And then lastly, we have Why Was This a Thing? Because honestly, some things, I just don't know how they ever were given the green light. I just don't get it. So those are their tiers. And then down here, we have all of our songs that we're going to be ranking today. And obviously, I can't get to every single song that was in the 2010s. So if you guys have any other suggestions, feel free to just drop a comment below. Alright, so we're going to get started here. The first song is Hazel Sisters. So I feel like this is just the epitome of 2010s nostalgia. Like, I remember that one summer when this was just played all over the radio every single day, like every single hour, on every single station, and as soon as those first notes start playing, you just get hit with such a sense of nostalgia. So I would definitely say this is a decade anthem. So I'm just gonna put this real quick. Okay, and next up we have Counting Stars. So this is also a really good song. Don't know if I would call it a decade anthem, but it's so 2014 it hurts. So I'm gonna put that under bops. Okay, DJ Got Us Falling in Love. First of all, if you don't think of Revenge when you hear that song, you're uncultured. I feel like Revenge might even be more iconic than DJ Got Us Falling in Love, just because that was just such a big part of our culture. So definitely, I would call this a decade anthem. So next up, Story of My Life. I feel like this one comes between bops or suburban mom music. It's good, but it's also something that you would hear at CVS, I feel like. But I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, so let's just put it in bops for now. Okay, next up we have Blurred Lines. So I really don't know who gave this the okay, but if you watch the video, it's just terrible. I hate this with my entire existence. So let's just put this under Why Was This a Thing? And I'm being generous when it comes to that. Dynamite. This is the one where the Minecraft parody had more likes and views than the actual song. It was just such a big part of our childhoods, so decade anthems. What Makes You Beautiful? Just straight up iconic. It's still a bop to this day, so definitely decade anthem. Firework. I remember like in 4th grade this was my favorite song, and it's still really good, so I'm gonna put this under bops. Okay, Last Friday Night, again, all these are just Minecraft parodies at this point. I would say if it was the Minecraft version, it would be decade anthems, but since it's just the actual version, I'm gonna classify it as bops. Closer. Honestly, I didn't like Closer when it first came out, but I think it got better. I feel like it's something I would still bop to today, so I'm going to put this under suburban mom music. Okay, Gangnam Style is absolutely iconic, and there's like no question about it. Decade anthems for sure. God's Plan. I know I'm probably gonna get attacked for this, but this is either meh or Why Was This a Thing? Because I just don't see the hype. I'm gonna put this under meh. Starships, absolutely legendary, for sure a decade anthem. Friday. That just brings up so much repressed memories. I remember when everyone thought this was like the worst song ever and everyone was hating on it. And I listened back to it 2 days ago and it's still really bad, but I feel like it was so unfair for everyone to send hate to her. But I definitely don't see how this became a thing, because if you look at the lyrics, a whole group of adults sat down and they were like, you know what, we're just gonna write a song today. And they wrote that song. Like, I just don't get it. So definitely Why Was This a Thing? But I blame the songwriters. Airplanes, I feel like this is one of those songs where you just hear it and you instantly get hit with memories of the past. So definitely decade anthems. Happy. So I remember in 2014 when everyone was obsessed with Happy and it was all over the radio like 24/7. You could not escape it if you tried. But honestly, it always kind of low-key annoyed me. I feel like it's too wholesome for me, so I'm gonna put this under suburban mom music. Now we have Hotline Bling. This is probably just meh, like I don't really think it's something that I would listen to voluntarily. So it's gonna go right next to God's Plan. I Got a Feeling. Again, whenever I hear this, I just instantly think of just vibing as a kid when none of this nonsense was happening. And I'm gonna say this is a decade anthem. Wow, we have a lot of anthems here and barely any of the other ones. That's interesting. I mean, I guess 2010s were just too iconic. I like it. Ooh, I feel like the song grew on me. At first I was like, ew, what is this? Because I don't really like rap. It's just not my thing. But then I listened to it a few more times and it actually became pretty good, and then I had it on repeat for much of that summer. So I feel like I'm just gonna say this is, should I say it's meh? Okay, I'm gonna put that under bops. Let It Go, oh my god. I remember that whole period of time when everyone was just obsessed with Frozen and obsessed with Let It Go. Love it or hate it, like you can't deny that this was one of the biggest parts of 2014. So I'm gonna say decade anthem. Love the Way You Lie. I really like the juxtaposition between Rihanna and Eminem on this. It's just something I could listen to on repeat over and over without getting bored of. So I'm going to say this is a bop. Moves Like Jagger. Okay, so this is also something that I feel like is just instantly nostalgic. I don't know if you would consider it as a decade anthem, but definitely a bop, and I would definitely still listen to it if it was on my playlist, so. Okay, so Despacito is a hot topic because you either love it or you hate it. There's no in between. But I feel like it wasn't that bad and it didn't deserve all the hate that it got. Because low-key, it is a bop. It is really, really good. Even though I don't understand anything that's going on. It's upbeat, it's catchy, it's bright, it's like that summer vibe. So I'm gonna say this is a bop. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but honestly, I feel like a lot of people just hated on it because it was trendy to do that. But I liked it. So we're gonna put it under bops. And then One Dance. This was probably one of the biggest parts of 2016 summer, and I know we all wish we could go back to summer 2016 because that's when everything was simpler. So I'm gonna put this under meh. So Party Rock Anthem, it literally has the word anthem in it. There's like no question about it. This is an anthem. Shape of You. I feel like Ed Sheeran is such a great songwriter and he writes incredible, like the most incredible songs with the most heartfelt lyrics, but Shape of You was just not it. I don't like how it's written. The way he describes stuff in the song, it's so cringeworthy. So I'm gonna put this under Why Was This a Thing? And then Baby by Justin Bieber. So again, I feel like this is kind of like Despacito where everyone hated on it because it was cool to hate on it, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, honestly, YouTube Rewind was worse. So I'm gonna put it under Suburban Mom Music. Payphone. I loved this song when I was a kid. So it just reminds me of so much. So I'm gonna put this under bops. Pompeii. I feel like this was a really, really good song, but it was a little bit underrated, even though it was still played a lot. I feel like it didn't get the hype it deserved, and I would definitely say this is a bop. Radioactive. This one definitely took some time to grow on me. I wasn't too big of a fan of it at first, but now I feel like it is pretty good. I'm gonna put this under bops. Okay, Rolling in the Deep. So, first of all, Adele is just iconic, but this song in particular wasn't my favorite song from her, but it's definitely something I would vibe to, so I'm still gonna say it's a bop. Royals by Lorde. You know, I always thought Lorde was a lot older than she is, but apparently she was only like a teenager when she released Royals, which is insane to think about. This one is definitely decade anthem. Okay, Shut Up and Dance is like the most 2015 song I've ever heard, because I just remember it was overplayed on the radio every single day that whole summer. It's like upbeat and I like the vibe, but low-key the lyrics are a little bit cringy, but I'm just gonna say, just because it reminds me of better times, it's going to go under bops. Some Nights by Fun. Definitely anthem. Like, I feel like I don't even have to explain that one. Somebody That You Used to Know. This one, yes, also, I would say this is either a bop or an anthem. This man really just, he released this one song and then he just dipped. Insert corny joke about how he's just someone we used to know. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is an anthem. Sorry. It has a nice tune and it's catchy and everything, but it low-key sounds super, super repetitive, and it's to the point where I kind of cringe when I hear him just repeat sorry over and over again in the chorus. Like, bro, we get it. We got it the first 5 times you said it. So I'm gonna put this under Suburban Mom. Bad Guy. Honestly, Billie Eilish is so talented and I love her songs, but Bad Guy was not it. Like, I don't know why that was the biggest hit of her whole discography when she has so many better songs out there that just really showcase her vocals. And I feel like Bad Guy just was not one of them. So I'm gonna say meh on this one. I'm sorry, it just sounds like a lot of whispering. Her vocals could do so much more. Stereo Hearts. This is an anthem. Stitches. So I feel like low-key his voice was a little bit annoying at first when I heard this song, but it grew on me. It's catchy, it's a bop, so I'm gonna put this under suburban mom music. Stressed Out. I feel like this song is one of the songs where you hear it as a kid and you don't understand the meaning, and then when you revisit it in a few years, you're like, oh, I suddenly get what they're talking about. And that's how it was for me with Stressed Out, because when I first heard it, I was just like, oh, it's just a song. But then listening to it now, I realize it's so accurate how, like, as we get older, there's so much more stuff we worry about, and we all just wish for those days of the past where we didn't have to worry about that. Which I guess is why everyone's listening to throwback songs now. This is definitely a bop. Okay, so are things growing a little bit? Teenage Dream. Man, this song just is iconic in its nostalgia. This is probably a bop, I would say. Thrift Shop. So I know this was huge in 2013, but I honestly never saw the hype around it. It just doesn't appeal to me. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put this under meh, even though I know everyone's gonna be upset. Timber by Kesha, definitely another song that's so 2014 and actually hurts. Yeah, I would say this is an anthem. It was during that period of time where Pitbull was just featured on every random song there was to exist. Treat You Better. This one had to grow on me, but I came to really like it. But I do feel like it's something that you would hear from a soccer mom's car or something, so I'm gonna put this here. Uptown Funk. So as much as I like Bruno Mars's old songs, I felt like as he progressed, I started liking his songs less and less. And Uptown Funk was just... it was super catchy, but I didn't like the lyrics, and I low-key cringed every time it came on the radio. So I'm gonna put this under Why Was This a Thing? Wake Me Up. Yeah, definitely an anthem. I feel like I shouldn't have to explain that one. Blank Space. Well, I mean, as a Swiftie, I like all of her songs, pretty much, but I feel like there were a lot of other songs that deserved to be as big as Blank Space, but I'm gonna put this under bops. I really liked it, but I feel like it's not the most iconic Taylor Swift song. We Are Young. I feel like as soon as you hear the first few notes of the song, you just feel like you're back in the good old days. So definitely an anthem. What Do You Mean? Oh my god, this just reminds me of in 8th grade, my English teacher set What Do You Mean to be her alarm so that whenever it went off, the whole classroom would just be flooded with Justin Bieber's voice. And I always felt like that was a little bit weird, but it's not a bad song. I would put this under suburban mom music. Whistle. So it wasn't until recently that I realized what Whistle is about, and you know, like, that just changed my whole perspective on the song. At first, this was just a really iconic song from my childhood, and I was like, wow, it's super catchy, and I just loved the tune, but if you look at the lyrics, and if you really think about it, it's like, oh, that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about a real whistle, is he? When I realized that, it was just like, wow, I was so sheltered and innocent as a kid. But it's still a really good song, so I'm gonna put this under bops anyways. Even though the innuendos, they just flew over my head as a kid, but now looking back, it's so hard to miss that. Work From Home. Okay, so not gonna lie, I thought the song was really annoying when I first heard it because I was just like, why are you saying work like 20 million times? It's a catchy song, it's a good tune. The music video is a little bit strange, a little bit repetitive, but I will put this under bops anyways. Call Me Maybe is probably the most iconic song of summer of 2012, so I would say it's a decade anthem, but it's actually a really good song too. Cheap Thrills. So I feel like this is another super iconic song from summer of 2016, and I would say it's a bop. Cheerleader. There's this line in Cheerleader that's like genie in a bottle, but the way he says it sounds like genie in a butthole, and ever since somebody pointed that out in YouTube comments, I haven't been able to ignore that. But that aside, it's a good song, so I'm gonna say it's a bop. And finally, our last tier is, and that's reserved for the one and only TikTok by Kesha, because if the first thing you think of when you hear the word TikTok is anything other than that iconic song by Kesha, you're uncultured.